All right, we are on day 7 of our ACT Prep Unit 1, Pre-Algebra 1 topics, and today is fractions, our favorite. All right, fractions are numerals that can name part of a whole. The denominator of a fraction shows how many equal parts or objects in all. The numerator shows how many parts are being discussed. So if you have 7/8, the fraction 7/8 can mean 7 out of 8 objects. 7 of 8 equal parts of a whole, or 7/8 of the way from 0 to 1 on a number line. Like a stock price of 7/8 means 7/8 of a dollar. Please remember this most important fact: a fraction cannot have a denominator of 0. If a fraction turns up with a denominator of 0, we say it is undefined. It's not 0, it's not defined, it's undefined. So be careful of that. Equivalent fractions. The fraction 7/8 is a name for a number. Other fractions that name the same number are called equivalent fractions. To find an equivalent fraction, you can multiply or divide the numerator and the denominator by the same number. So they started with 7/8 and they wanted it bigger. You can do whatever you want as long as whatever you do to the bottom, you do to the top. And so they multiplied by 5 and got 35 out of 40. 7 over 8 is equivalent to 35 over 40. Okay. You can also make things smaller. They took 8/12 and they said, well, they're both even, so I can divide the top and the bottom by 2, which would give me 4 over 6. You could actually do it again. So that's 4/6. 8 over 12 is equivalent to 4 over 6. I could do it again. Divide by 2. Divide by 2 would be, that's equivalent to 2/3. I could keep doing this all day long and come up with more and more and more and more equivalent fractions. Okay. Simplest form. A fraction is in simplest form when the numerator and denominator have no common factors greater than 1. 3/8 is in simplest form because no number greater than 1 divides both 3 and 8 exactly. Like, I can't divide the top and the bottom both by 2, by 3, but the only thing they have in common is 1. 14 over 35 is not in simplest form because the numerator and the denominator are both divisible by 7. I can simplify this by dividing the top and the bottom by 7, which would reduce it down to 2/5. Again, you have your calculator will do that for you. You just hit the math key and then the enter key twice. So, to compare fractions, okay, we use the terms equivalent to A equal B, less than A is less than B, greater than A is greater than B, and between to compare fractions. If two fractions have the same denominator, the fraction with the greater numerator is greater. So 4/8 over 4/8, that obviously is equivalent. See how here the denominators match? So all you do is compare the numerators. 1 is smaller than 3, so 1/8 is smaller than 3/8. Again, here the denominators match, so compare numerators. 5 is greater than 4, so 5/8 is greater than 4/8. And between, smallest, middle, big, arrows point left. That's when the denominators match. When they don't, to figure out who's bigger, you could use a calculator, turn them into decimals, and compare that way, which is what I usually do. But this is a kind of a neat trick. You can always cross multiply to compare fractions. The greater cross product appears next to the greater fraction. So they multiplied 3 and 12 and got 36. They multiplied 8 and 5 and got 40. Since 40 is bigger, 5/12 is bigger. So we make the Pac-Man eat 5/12. Okay? Or you can turn them into decimals. 3/8 is 0.375. 5/12 is 0.4. 0.4 is bigger than 0.3, so 5/12 is the bigger number. Okay, you try this one. Hit pause. Come back when you're ready. Alright, what I did was turned them all into decimals. Okay, so I typed in 1/2 is 0.5, I typed in 3/5 is 0.6, 4/7 and 2/3. And then I'm going to put them in order from smallest to biggest. So let's see, 0.5, 0.5 were smaller than 0.6, but this is 0.50, 0.57, so this is the smallest. This is the second. 0.60 is smaller than 0.66, so there's my order. Well, 0.5 was 1/2, that's first. second is 4/7, third would be 3/5, and last would be 2/3. And then it wants to know, in lowest terms, what is the difference between the largest and the smallest fractions. So I have 2/3 minus 1/2, which is 0.1666666 repeating. And again, my answers are in fraction form, so you hit your math key, and then you hit enter for fraction, and then hit enter again, and it will turn it back into a fraction for you, which is 1/6. Okay? Alright, write true if the fractions are equivalent and false if they are not. Again, you can do your cross products, and when the numbers are small, I don't really mind that. The other way to do it is just to turn them both into decimals. Okay? You can see 4/7 comes out to 0.5714285714, so does 12 divided by 21. Okay? You can also 4/7, see if it will reduce. If you math enter 4/7, it gives you 4/7. If you math enter 21 over 12, you get 4/7. You can see that they are equivalent. So this would be true. Okay? 3/5 and 6/15. 3/5 is 0.6, 6/15 is 0.4, so this one is false. Those are not equivalent fractions. 5/9 and 20/36. You can see that they are the same decimal. You can see that this one reduces down to 5/9, so this one is true. Next one, 2/3 is 0.6 repeating, 12/18 is 0.6 repeating, 12/18 reduces down to 2/3, so they are equivalent, true. Okay, 1/5 is 0.2, 4/25 is 0.16, they are not equivalent, so this one is false. Okay, 4/9 is 0.4 repeating, 20 over 45 is 0.4 repeating. You can see 20 over 45 reduces down to 4/9, which is equivalent, so this one is true. 3/4 comes out to 0.75, 12/18 comes out to 0.6 repeating. They do not match, so that's false. And finally, 5/7 and 35/49 do, so that one is true. Alrighty, this one wants us to write each fraction in simplest form. Easiest way to do that is to type it in and hit math enter. 27 over 81 reduces down to 1/3. 8 over 12 reduces down to 2/3. Okay, when you're comparing, you can do the cross product thing if you want. 3 times 7 is 21, 5 times 4 is 20. Since 21 is bigger, then 3/5 is bigger than 4/7. Okay, or you can look at decimals. 3/5 is 0.6, which is bigger than 0.57, so again, we would go this way. Okay, when the numbers are small, 2 times 12 is 24, 9 times 5 is 45, 45 is bigger, so we're going to go this way. Check the decimal. 2/9 is 0.2 something, 5/12 is 0.4 something, 4 is bigger than 2. Okay, on these ones, I go decimal. 2/3 is 0.6 repeating, 1/2 is 0.5, and 3/8 is 0.375. So we're going from biggest to smallest. Okay, so my alligators need to eat the bigger numbers. 14, go decimal. 3/4 is 0.75, 6/7 is 0.857, 7/8 is 0.875. So we're going smallest to biggest. So my arrows would point this way. Okay. All right, to write in order from least to greatest, again, I just go decimal. 7/8 is 0.87, 0.83, so he's smaller, so we're going to go 5/6 and then 7/8. Turn them to decimal. 3/5 is 0.60, 61 over 100 is 0.61. So this one is bigger, so 3/5 is smallest, and then 61 over 100. 2/7 is 0.28, 4/9 is 0.44, smallest is 2/7, then 4/9. 3 at a time, type them all in. You got 0.6, 0.55, 0.57. So this is the smallest, then this guy, then this guy. So we got 11/20ths, 4/7ths, 3/5. 19, turn them to decimals. We have 0.75, 0.625, and 0.70. So this would be the smallest, then 70, then 75. So we would have 5/8 first, then 7/10, and then 3/4. Okay, and 20, turn them decimal. My smallest looks like 7/16, so 4/3, and then 0.50 would be my second, 0.55 would be my third, and this would be my last. So it's going to go 7/16, 1/2, 5/9, and 4/5. Okay. You try this one, hit pause, come back when you're ready. Alright, it says all of the following fractions are equivalent to 4/7 except. So I typed this in, math enter, enter. Yes. I typed this in, no, did not come out to 4/7. I typed all the rest of them in and math enter, entered, and they all reduced down to 4/7 except for 12/35. So the answer was B. Alright, try this one. Hit pause, come back when you're ready. If I turn them all into fractions, I got 0.6, 0.83, 0.3, 0.3, 5/3. 0.53 repeating. Alright, so I've got, let's see, my smallest would be 0.30, so that's 3/10. My next would be 0.33, which would be 1/3. Then 0.5 something would be 8/15, and then 0.6 would be 3/5. And that's my order. Okay, try this one, hit pause, come back when you're ready. Alright, it says for which of the following choices would the symbol equal in the blank make a true statement? So I typed 2/5 and 4/15, not equal. I typed 7/13 and 2, those are equal. And you can check real quick, but the rest are not. So my answer would be B. Okay, try this one, hit pause, come back when you're ready. Alright, Joel has 5 different kinds of salad to choose from. He has $2 to spend. Which of the 5 salads listed below should Joel choose to get the most salad for his money? Well, if you pick half a pound, that's 0.5. 2/3 is more. 5/7 is more. 4/9 is less. 3/8 is even less. So to get the most for his $2, he wants the 5/7, which means he wants a garden salad. Okay, try this one. Hit pause, come back when you're ready. Alright, 5 college students, Brad, Alex, Scott, Jim, and Tony, live in the same dorm. The following is a list of the distances each walks to class. Which student walks the farthest? So again, I went decimal and I'm looking for the biggest one, which is 0.6 something, which is 8/13, which is Alex. Okay. And we are done with day 7. I will see you next time for day 8.